Thanks, everybody. We're going to start by logging into the Procertas website and seeing how these modules work and how the assessments work. The website is available at learn.procertas.com from any web browser that you choose to use. I'll be using Google Chrome today, and so a couple things will be slightly different than they might be if you're using Edge, which I'll point out. So you'll start by logging in using your email address and password. And that will land you at the modules list page. So here at the top of the screen, we see 4 options: modules, scores, reports, and administration. The typical user would only see modules and scores. I'm logged in as an administrator today, so I do see the reports option as well as administration. And so just a little background on the administration side. This whole platform is designed so that you can implement it as a firm, like as Doug mentioned, either through the Savvy Academy or individually, but you have the ability to go in and set up users and assign different modules to those users so that those users will see them on their modules list. So what I see on my modules list right now is the list of modules that have already been assigned to my account. Again, this would be done by 1 or 2 users within your organization. Every user would not see this list, but you can assign users and then assign modules to users. And you can also assign instructors to users. So that's an option as well. So we're going to come back over here to modules, and we're going to start out by looking at the content library. And so in addition to the assessments, you have a content library, and there's the ability to come in here and watch just learning videos. So you could search for, let's say you wanted to learn how do you do styles. You can type in styles here and click search, and that will show you the 4 videos that are available within this platform just for learning styles. You're not taking a quiz, you're not in the quiz environment, you're just watching videos and learning different things as it relates to styles. So that's pretty straightforward, but I wanted to show you that first and get that piece covered. And now I'm going to click back on modules and then on the modules option on that menu. So within the modules list, you'll see that most things look like they're duplicated. So for example, here's PowerPoint Level 1 assessment, and here's PowerPoint Level 1 trainer. So the trainer is not for trainers, it is a teaching module. The teaching modules are very similar to the assessment modules, except for the fact that they're not graded, and you can do them in any order. So we're going to start by looking at a teaching module or a trainer module, and we're going to look at the PowerPoint Level 1 trainer module. And I'll do that by clicking the Begin New button. At the beginning of every module, you're going to see this introductory page. It tells you how the modules work, how you're downloading files, what you might need to do in your own software, such as click Enable Editing to save yourself a step once you get into the tutorial. And once you've read this once, you've probably read it enough times and you will still continue to see it, but you can always just go straight to the Begin button in the top right corner, and that begins the module. So here is the task list of the module for PowerPoint Level 1, and most modules are divided into about 14 tasks. In a trainer module, you're able to jump around and go to whichever task you find of interest at the moment. So I could go here to the Insert Video task and click the Go to Task button. That then loads that particular task within this module. And again, we have some introductory text here that tells you how to use it. Again, reading it once is probably enough. And up here in the top right corner, you have the options for this particular task and module. The first one is you can click the Teach Me and see a video there as well. So you don't always have to go into the content to see videos, because there are videos also embedded in the trainer modules. And then when you're ready, you can just proceed to the task. And the task is very much like what you'll see in the assessment, except again, it's not graded. Its purpose is for teaching. So here I'm going to click Proceed to Task. And you'll see in the top right corner, I have preparation time and target time. Each task has an assumed or an assigned target time. This is how long it should take you or could take you to perform this particular task. And in this example, it tells you to download the following 2 files. Here's the file. Here's what they want us to do. Here's the before picture. and here's what they expect it to look like afterwards. So you have the ability to look at all of this before you actually begin. The timer begins when you download the file. So you would download the file, and it will download down here in the bottom left corner of your browser window if you're using Chrome. If you're using Microsoft Edge, it'll be on a button up here in the top right corner of your browser window. But in either case, you'll click it one time. That will then open up PowerPoint for you, and you will have that document ready for you to perform that task. Now, this is one of the things that they were talking about, is this enable editing button. So in Excel, for example, I've turned that feature off, so I don't have to click enable editing button because I'm super competitive and I want to be able to finish the module as soon as possible.
Hey,
and
Debbie,
that's going to take like a second. Yes.
I'm still looking at the BOTA, the Procertas page.
Doug, I have the proper one. So
Okay.
I think, yep. Can I get
you see the PowerPoint?
I've got BOTA PowerPoint L1 trainer. Can I get somebody in chat to confirm that that's what they see?
No, it's Terry. I think you're just sharing your window and not, I mean, you're sharing an application now. We see your script now.
You don't see.
I don't see PowerPoint. I see your word script at this point, and now we see PowerPoint. There we go.
Sorry about that. Okay, so sorry about that. So now you see the PowerPoint window.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, so here's the enable editing that I usually turn off. Sorry about that. And so you would have to enable editing first, and then you can proceed with the steps for that task. And for some reason, it's not happy with me right now. So then you would perform the task, make sure you save the document, and then you can go ahead and close out of that program, and you'll be back to the assessment screen. At that point, you then upload the file, and you see that it's counting the time here. It's turned red because I've exceeded it for not knowing how to share my screen. And then you would upload the file. The first time you go into this upload screen, you may have to redirect it to the proper location, which is your downloads folder, but you can always confirm that you have the right file, click that file, and click open, and then that uploads the file for you. In the bottom right corner, after the upload completes, you'll see whether or not you got that question correct. Now, in this case, I didn't actually perform the action, so of course I got it incorrect, but you'll see either a green option here or this red option telling you that you can try again, or you can go to the Teach Me button to actually see the video and learn how to do that particular task. So one of the other things that's true of either the trainer or the assessments is you can stop at any time without actually losing your place or losing the steps that you've completed so far. So at this point, I'm going to click the stop button, and it warns me that my changes may not be saved, but I'm going to go ahead and click leave. And what you'll see now here is that I have begun this trainer. I'm 57% through it. And at a later time, I can always come back to the continue button and go back into that trainer and jump around throughout the tasks, whatever tasks I want to complete. So the assessments are very similar in that they have the same list of tasks. The upload and download works the same, but you are being timed and you are being graded. So we're going to go back now to an assessment and see how that works. So here I'm going to choose the Excel Level 2 assessment, and I'm going to start it brand new. So you'll see that I've been in it before, but I'm going to click the Start Over button, and it tells me that I'm going to erase anything I've done in the past. I want to do that, so I'm going to click Yes. And now I'm again at that same description of how it works and what I need to do to download files and things like that. I'm ready to begin the assessment, so I'm going to click the Begin button. And now I'm going to get the description about how I might want to, or I might need to click Enable Editing and so forth. Again, if you've read this once, you already know how it works, and then you can proceed to task. This is where it's different, is now I am actually performing a task. I'm being timed once I click the download button. So I'm not being timed yet. I have time to read through the scenario, look at what the expectations are, and look at what the final result will be. Once I feel like I'm ready to perform the task, I will click the button to download the file. The file will download in the bottom right corner. I will click it once to open up Excel, and this time, hopefully Excel will actually show. And now I need to perform the task, and I am being timed. So I'm going to go to the View menu and check the box that says grid lines, which is what I was asked to do in this particular task. Then I'm going to save the Excel file, close the Excel window. I'll be back at the Procertas window, and I'll upload the file, confirm that this is the right date and time, and click open, and that task will be completed. Notice I don't have any indication of whether I got it correct or not. I'm just given the opportunity to proceed to the next task. In this particular task, I have 2 separate files to download. I have the guidelines, the before and after pictures of what they're expecting. And I can, as soon as I click download on these 2 files, my timing begins. I can do the same thing, complete the tasks, upload the file. If I decide I need a break, I can go to the stop button, and I can either pause or start over. So this time I'm going to click pause, and that brings me back to the modules list, and I can go to the trainer and go through and read that instruction or watch that video on that particular module if I don't know how to do that thing. So you can jump in and out, but typically it's probably a good idea to go all the way through your assessment at once and get an idea where you are. Because like Doug mentioned at the beginning, one of the goals of these assessments is not really, we're not doing it to get a certificate or to get some type of certification. It's to see where our learning gaps are. So you can go through the whole assessment, see what your learning gaps are, and then you can always do the assessment again, or you can go to the trainer and develop some more knowledge about those particular topics, and then come back and perform the assessment again. Once an assessment is completed, the score for that assessment is available on the scores tab, and you'll see under the last assessment rating, if you have completed it and received a rating, that rating will show on this screen. So you'll know that this one has been completed, these are in progress, this one I'm in the middle of, I can either continue it or start over. So let's take a look at what it looks like on the scores, especially if you've completed an assessment more than once. I'm going to click on the scores option at the top here, and you can see here that I have completed the Excel Level 1 assessment multiple times. One time I got 10 items out of 14 correct and 13 out of 14. So you can see how long the time was and what the rating was. You can also go to details, and this is where you'll see what you did correctly, what you did incorrectly. And you also see the detail of how the timing plays into the score of the assessment. In this case, I was allocated 1:25 to perform this particular task. I did it in 15 seconds, so my assessed time is 15 seconds. This one I was allocated 1:55, did it incorrectly in 19 seconds, and so I was assessed the full time. And all of that plays into what your final score is on a particular assessment. I can go ahead and hide those details, but every time you do complete an assessment, you'll see those scores appear on your score listing. So you can always go back to the modules and perform that assessment again, or do the trainers, and you can always find your scores on the scores tab.